My head begins to relax the more I just keep moving forward in ways that are designed to help heal and cultivate inner intimacy and vulnerability with my chosen world, a world I wish and want to connect with. How to share the time of inner landscape into the expression of my outer life and ways of moving, being, breathing, connecting from within. This is my practice. My practice is this. I am cultivating the nuances with care and considered connection, learning to be softer and more tender with the unready parts of myself, while not giving up on my goals, dreams, and visions. My home is my harvest, and my connection is my care. Come into a center point of practice and join yourself into the seat of your soul. My mind is learning how to come along with my body in more engaging and engageable ways. The rest moves slowly, and you softly listen to yourself in your home practice. Subtly whisper yourself into the making of a creative dream and come forward for reality's caress. Move your body. Move your body and feel the senses of surrender's softest embrace. Welcome the structure for safety. Calm the heart and rest in the ritual practice of your love. Sometimes, soon enough, there will be flowers to share with your soul, and your readiness will graciously receive tender care and soft whispers for surrender's charge as protection from what would be too much for your system all at once. The dust of safekeeping can be cleansed, and you oil your window's panes and threshold for clarity. What you bring in, what you let out, time comes forward and you become very practical even in your poetics. Words are spells, and you begin to see where you were casting your own destruction before. So rewrite. Rewrite your pattern synchronicities. Measure and cultivate a form for living freely forward. Spend time here and offer your love. Home.
Hello. So I just did a writing session with you guys. I don't know what order I'm going to be posting in or how the releases are going to go, but it felt really nice. This is the little account able tea. I wanted to come back in and connect after the writing session and just share a bit about where I've been, where I'm at, where I'm headed. Oh man, I'm going to take off my glasses for this. So where I've been is, it feels like I've been trying to come out of like a haze or a daze or like a really just like life of dissociation. I've spent a lot of my life being really disconnected from my body and sort of not feeling safe inside of my own experience. And so there's this like escapist, remove myself, bypass my experience. So I don't actually have to feel or confront the things that are not working in my life or are uncomfortable in my own inner or outer experience. So I feel like I'm coming from a place where that was just like the norm, the way it was, the not knowing any different, and also wondering, is it this hard for everybody? Is life really this hard for everybody? And where I'm at now is sort of this recognition that no, it's not that hard for everybody. Is it harder for some people? Yeah. Is it just as hard for many people? And is it that hard for everybody? Absolutely not. And is there a large portion of people who are living healthy, well-adjusted, capable lives? I mean, I guess it depends on how you how you want to qualify those things. But are there people who can just like wake up and move throughout their day and then come home and then go to sleep and then like have this sort of like ritual rise and fall of a cyclical day that doesn't feel like overwhelming or overbearing or like more than they can bear to be with? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And so I'm in this sort of grief period, this recognition phase, this willing to be with the truth of like, it's almost like if it's everybody, then, well, I guess we're all in it together. But if there's different ways that I can show up, if there's different ways that I can be with myself and be with others or experience life or choose a way to cultivate the life I want to live, which is the theme of this particular journal that I always do a theme at the beginning, and this one is the life I want to live, which I've mentioned a couple times in different videos, but I don't know where people touch base. So I'll repeat it again here, so that if you haven't cycled with my progress of that you're still aware of my current space, which is where I'm at now. And also for me to repeat is important. I think sometimes we're afraid to do the same thing over and over because we don't want to be redundant, or we don't want to be boring, or we don't want to feel a certain kind of way. But also it's important to practice. It's important to show up into regularity and ritual and do the same thing multiple times so that you can get your sea legs with it. And I think that's what I'm finding that I want more and more of in Pages and Process, but also in my life in general. Like I really want to rest inside of the ritual of the kind of life that I'm crafting, and to have rituals in place and regularity that feels good to me to step into connection with, that feels like it supports me, and also that I let myself off the hook, and or there are ways in which I can adapt the practices to meet me where I'm at, because I can't always meet practices where they expect me to be. So I need like a cushy, soft, wide open container, like a field that I can just lay in. And in some ways, this is what I'm wanting to continue to feel accountability as. This is also what I'm wanting to sense Pages and Process can be for not only my experience, but for your experience as well. And I'm still testing waters and feeling into possibilities and receiving ideas about what that might look like, how that could feel, what would be most nourishing to the kind of community and connection that I know is going to help me feel held in the world. So that's where I'm at, and hopefully help those in my community feel held as well. I feel like when we feel more held, we also are able to embody a nervous system that can offer the potential and the capacity for others who meet us to feel that they are held as well, whether that's by themselves and their own nourishment, or by just the co-regulation and interconnection of having a relational sharing process with somebody or a group that patterns into practices that help ground, orient, release, experience safety, honor, all of that. And then where I'm headed. I'm aware when I said that, and then where I'm headed, it's like I wanted to skip through the transition between where I'm at and where I'm headed. I wanted to like jump. So I think though, but where I'm headed is that space between. learning out how to not just know where I'm headed and have an idea and a vision, which I'm good at the dreams and I'm good at receiving stuff too. But what I also am recognizing is a part of my present moment on my way to being the embodiment of what can meet me in the future that I know that I hold, is that I have a willingness to hold it. Ooh, and it feels important that it's like in my heart chakra area, that there's this willingness to hold it there. And I just kind of want to be with that. Mm. Sometimes, if you can be with a feeling or a sensation that feels like an edge for you, not past your edge, but like at the edge of comfort, right? Where it's becoming a little stretched, a little uneasy, a little uncertain, a little, you can just be there and hold that and ride the waves that come from that portion of being on sort of your own water's surface, be with your own waves. You can surf it and you can experience some really beautiful creative flow from there. And that's sort of what I'm doing right now. It's scary to like really admit how much of a witch I am. Like, I'm such a embodiment energy sorceress. We can use those words or not use those words. There's also very practical, pragmatic ways people utilize embodiment and somatic tools, and there's therapeutic modalities and there's movement therapy. And so it depends on how, like, your lens, what you do or don't feel comfortable with. But there are like physiological ways in which this kind of work helps. And there's also a lot of really real historical and present day experiences of being judged or shamed or otherized, or even in some instances, under threat for communing, connecting with the ways in which we really do have relational play and interconnection with nature and the unseen in a relational way, and honoring that. So here I am doing those things, learning how to love myself here without being afraid or ashamed or feeling guilty for who I am, which in my perspective is who we human bodies really are at the core. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that is the place that I keep coming back to as like where my concept of faith lives, in the faith and the hope and the guiding love of that being the case, that being the truth. I just want to be in this. I want to swim in this with you for a little bit before I let you go. But I think this is the end. We did past, present, future, where I've been, where I'm at, where I'm headed. I would love to know from you how you've been, where you're at, where you're headed, and also invite you into the possibility of really holding space in the bridge between where you've been and where you're at, and where you are and where you want to be. Because that bridging space, that holding in like our tenderest care and allowing what's there to be there, but also allowing things to evolve and change naturally and organically, and trusting that we have the capacity to simultaneously listen to what's needed and also honor our own boundaries, clarity, and access to choice. And sometimes we do have these lines of, well, I could go this way or I could go that way. Which one feels most honest to my needs? Which one feels most honest to maybe the other person or the other experiences needs? And which one honors the both of them? And is there a way that you can find a way through that somehow honors both, honors the past, honors the present, honors the future forward visioning, and honors yourself and honors the relationship between you and other. Okay. On that, I love you. Hugging and just like holding you all in my heart. Thank you for being here with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.